Welcome everybody, welcome to a different type of video on my channel today. Today we've got a sort of like QPR sort of prediction slash review of our transfers after deadline day and the whole transfer window over the last month or two. So, in today's video we have players that you probably have absolutely no idea about because QPR in the Championship, we signed some proper weird players. I've heard of half of them, neither of them as well, but a few of them I've seen play over the last couple of weeks for QPR. They look okay, good, so today I'm going to review them for you. So, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to like, subscribe and comment, share with your friends, and comment on how I can actually improve my videos for the future. So the first player I'm going to be talking about in this video is bidwel. I've got it next to me because I can't pronounce his name. He's Polish. Right mid, left mid. We signed him on loan from Hellas Verona. And I don't know, I've just looked over some of his stats and I'm really not sure. He's played 26 games in the Serie A last season. 23 of them were starts, 3 of them were substitute appearances. But he got 0 goals. He got 0 goals in basically a whole season, which I just don't think is good enough. So I think it's quite a risky sort of loan deal to sort of bring him in. But I suppose it's only a loan deal. We're not actually paying anything. So it's good to sort of like try new players out and to see new people come into the club. So I think I'm going to rate, like I did before in one of the other videos, I'm going to rate each like player on a scale of 1 to 10 and how good I think their transfer will end up being or has been. So I'm going to rate this bidwel as a 5 out of 10 because I don't think he's proven enough. One, he's not proven in English football. Like his other club was Sampdoria, then Hellas Verona, and then QPR obviously. But I just don't think he's proven enough. Like how can you not score a goal in like almost like 30 games? It's not good enough really. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10 just because I don't think he can provide what we really need to win the league or get promoted back to the Premier League. The next player I'm going to be talking about in today's video is Untitled from Anderlecht. He's a striker and his record, I can't really track any of his stats, but the stats I have tracked are from the start of this season. So I don't know whether the Belgian Pro League starts, but I guess it started sort of the same time as the Championship started. But like he transferred like only a couple of days ago, so that's why he's got some games under his belt on these stats. So he actually played 3 games this season and already had bagged 2 goals, which is good. So it shows that he's pretty clinical, but I don't know whether that's just because he's in the Belgian Pro League or whether that's because the league's easier than the Championship. I don't really know what league you classify as the most competitive. Personally, I'd say the Championship is the most, like, I don't know, sort of competitive league. I think it's more competitive than the Premier League just because, like, there's more teams. Basically, anything can happen in the Championship. I know everything can happen in the Premier League. Leicester won the league, but anything can happen in the Championship. And I mean anything. So I think this Untitled guy could be a really good signing, but I'm just really not sure of whether, I don't know whether he would start or be a superstar, or whether he would start over Sebastian Polo, who's definitely our most clinical striker. But apart from that, it looks like a pretty good signing. So I'm going to rate this because over social media there's been loads of hype about him. So he looks really, really good. He sounds really, really good. So hope he is really, really good. So I'm going to give this signing an 8 just because all the fans that I've seen tweet and stuff say that he's absolutely amazing. So as I said, I'll give it an 8. So for the third player in today's video, we're going to be looking at Jordan Cousins. And I've got to say, from watching him over the last couple of games, he's been easily, I'd say, one of our best players. He's an absolute rock in the midfield. Like, he wins, he's just not scared of anything. He just goes into every tackle. He's just absolutely amazing. Like, we got him from Charlton. I'm not sure how much for. It might have been free, but I think it was for an undisclosed fee, actually, yeah. Undisclosed fee. He played 140 times for Charlton since he joined at 13 years old, which is absolutely insane. So, like, from 13, I'm not sure how old he is now, but he made his debut in August 2013, which is absolutely amazing. And from watching his performances, I've got to say that he's so far been the best signing of the season. So I'm going to rate Cousins, as I rate him so highly, and I hope he can continue his form on for the rest of the season. I'm going to rate him a 9 out of 10 because he's definitely our best signing of the season so far. So for the next player in today's video, we're going to be looking at the left back from Brentford, Jake Bidwell. So I'm not really sure. If you look over on FIFA 16, we have about 7 or 8 left backs. We've just sold Cole Kopekwa to Barnsley. I don't really rate Kopekwa that much, so I suppose that was kind of good sale to Barnsley because he can kind of get more experience, and I've literally never seen a footballer taller than him. He's literally taller than Crouch, which is insane. But yeah, we bought in Bidwell from Brentford. Apparently we've been trying to get him for like 3 or 4 seasons, and I don't really know why. I've been watching him and I don't really rate him that much. Like, we had Traore from Arsenal, but then he just didn't want to play or anything. Like, I'll say his best game was against Man City when Man City won the league, when you obviously know when Man City beat QPR 3-2, when they won the league on goal difference. That was his best game. Like, we almost won that game because of him, but like, if we still had him, we just sold him to Notts Forest. But if we still had him, I think he's better than Bidwell. We had Yun Sok Young, we sold him to Charlton. He's also better than Bidwell. So I don't know whether we've sort of got better at left back or worse, but I haven't actually seen enough of Bidwell to sort of like contemplate whether he's good or bad. So I'm going to rate this one, just because I don't really know, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10, just because he might have decent potential and see if he can do anything good for the club. So the next signing, we're going to be looking at Joel Lynch from Huddersfield, the centre-back. He's an absolute tank rock, but he's injured. He got injured in the EFL Cup game against Swindon. I'm not sure when he's back. He might actually be back when you're watching this video, but I doubt it very much. I'm not sure whether he's got I don't know what the injury is, but he just went off in the EFL Cup one night against Swindon in the first round, and we haven't actually seen him play since. That was the actually first game I've ever seen him play anyway, and I thought, I'm not sure, he didn't look that good. Like, he was quite good. He pushed up a bit. But then, I suppose, he is their defenders, so they don't really get in the game much at all because it's all about goals and stuff. And obviously, QPR were going to go on the attack against Swindon because we're a league above them. But, I don't know, he looked okay from corners, but we had this Darnell Furlong guy who was just sold on to, I'm not sure which team, but we sold him on. He's like a really young right back, and he looked absolutely insane. Like, we have James Perch, who we could just play left back instead of Bidwell, which I think is good because Perch was actually insane at left back at the end of last season. Like, he's a right back, but I've never actually seen someone who's like swap positions, adapt that quickly and be that good. And then we can play that Darnell Furlong right back, but I'm not really sure because he's a bit young and sort of experienced, so sort of bringing Bidwell in was sort of good for the experience, but I'm not really sure. So I think if we rate bring in Joel Lynch to the club, just because he's good, but we have not seen him play at all, so we have no idea what he's capable of. So when we do, I'm also going to rate this mid-table just because we haven't seen what their full potential is. I'm going to give the Joel Lynch signing a 5 out of 10. And the next signing is a right mid from the second French league, I think this Metz or something, SC Metz. His name is Yenny Mbakakto. I can't pronounce his name. It's like N-G-A and then back Oto or something stupid like that. But it's just impossible to pronounce. But he's a right winger, and we've been playing him on the left and the right in some previous games. He's looked absolutely insane. He scored in his debut against Swindon. He wants to look for a goal quite a lot. And we saw him against Swindon. He put an insane cross in, on the volley, first time. It was insane across the goal. Sadly, we couldn't get the goal from it, but it was absolutely insane. He's got mad skill on the ball. The last skiller we've actually seen at QPR was Tarab, but everyone sort of knows what happened to him in his career. He sort of just sits on his sofa eating pizzas and drinking Diet Coke now. So doesn't really matter because he needs to go on a diet because he's probably drinking like regular Coke or something. But yeah, we've never actually seen someone maybe as good as Mbakako with his skills, but he's actually really good. So hopefully if he keeps carrying on with his form during the season, we could look for a really, really good, solid signing. So I'm going to rate Yeni Mbakako with a rating of 7 out of 10. Just because we've only seen him for a couple of games like everyone else. But he definitely has the potential to be one of our best players this season. So guys, this brings us on to the last signing of our sort of transfer window. We've signed Fairy Liquid himself, Ariel Borisiuk, or Borisiuk, but I just call him UK because we're British. But yeah, he's another Polish player, so we'll get a perfect link on FIFA to Paweł Prozuliak. I can't pronounce his name once again, but yeah, obviously we're not talking about the FIFA side, we're talking about the real in-game side. So this Ariel guy's been injured. He got injured in pre-season, so his only game he's played for us was against Rochdale in the EFL Cup second round, which I haven't actually watched much highlights, but I know that Sandro, coming back from his like West Brom days, like I said in my prediction video, West Brom are the worst team in the Premier League, so he made the right decision to come back, and he got 2 goals in the first game back, which is absolutely amazing. So I wish Sandro all the best and see if he can provide any more for us this season. But this Ariel kid apparently played absolutely amazing in his first game, but in pre-season he gave away a penalty on his debut, and I think he may have got a red card, not in the exact game, but he did get a red card in pre-seasons. So I'm a bit worried about what he actually brings. Like, if he's like that Cole Henry player, Cole Henry's honestly the worst footballer in the world, but in like one of the last games in the season, he scored our goal of the season, so yeah, I can't really knock him for that. But Cole Henry is, I don't know whether this Ariel kid's going to be as good as Cole Henry, or maybe they're similar players. So if I was to give Fairy Liquid sort of a rating out of 10 of how I think he's going to like come good for us this season, I'm going to give him a 6. Just because he's injured, and like he was injured and he's come back, and hardly anyone's actually seen him play, so no one knows his actual quality because he was in the Polish league, and yeah, what kind of league is that? I'm not even sure what they're like. It's called. It's like called the Ekstrans. Like, I'm not even sure. I can't pronounce it. Like, you can see why, because we don't know who any of their good players are, or whether we signed a good player. But I'm sure like the QPR scouts have brought him in for a reason. So if we have, hopefully he can provide good. And just a quick note, we've also signed this like really young goalkeeper who's Swiss from, I'm not sure what club he's from, but he's a Swiss goalie. I think Swiss goalie. He's like 18, and we've sort of just got him to play in the like under 23s or the reserves or something, because we've just had this other goalie called Joe Lumley sign a 3-year contract, but now we have 4 goalkeepers. So I'm really not sure what's going to happen, whether he'll just play in the youth team or something like that. But it's I suppose it's good for his like, he can get better potential, he can get better like he'll get better control, he'll sort of like get to know the club a bit more like from a younger level. So hopefully he can come good. And that's all that QPR did in this transfer window. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe and comment, share with your friends, because who wouldn't want to share about the best club in the world, QPR? I'm just joking, but we're not that good. But I suppose if these players do come good, maybe I could do a video about QPR winning league, but I doubt that because I don't think we're going to win the league. But hopefully we can get promotion back to the Premier League, because I believe our squad is good enough to win the league. And just while I was editing this, guys, I realised that I didn't include one of the most insane failed signings of the season. QPR didn't bring in Bentner, so suppose we might not win the league now because the hero we needed, Bentner, isn't going to come to the club. So I'm not really sure if he actually has a club anymore, but he should have signed. I'm not sure if this Adrita Celia guy is going to be as good as Bentner, because obviously Bentner's the best striker in the whole world. So I'm a bit gutted by that, but hopefully we can still have a good season. And if we do, then I'll make a video on how amazing we were this season. But so far, we haven't been all that. So if we do improve, make sure to look out for a video like that. But I really doubt it's going to happen because we're not going to win the league. But like I said before, guys, if you did enjoy the video, like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow.